Hey guys, Kev here, and I have a full review to do for you of a different kind of knife for my channel. This here is the Kershaw Atmos. This knife is in faux S carbon fiber and G10, or no, FRN, sorry, there's no G10 on here, and HCR 13 MOV steel. This is a Sinkovich design. I've had this knife for about 2 years now, and it's interesting to me because I've used this knife probably more than I've used a lot of knives. I mean, look at that tip. Definitely fucked that tip up. Totally blunted there. This was our, like, around the house on the kitchen table knife for getting into packages, envelopes, cutting up boxes, anything. My wife would grab this for her. I would grab it for her. Of course, she opened it like this, you know. But she now knows how to operate a liner lock and a frame lock and an axis lock. She's pretty good, actually. I just hand her knives now, and I'm like, here, babe. And then she'll, you know, do whatever. And she's like, I don't like it. She does that every time. Except for the donut knife. I got her one of those because I had one for a giveaway, and she, like, loved the knife. And I was like, holy shit, I got to hunt one down. And I think there's one other one. Oh, the Finch knives, the 1929 or the Holiday. I don't know. We have a Tycoona right now we use as our kitchen table knife now. We have that and the donut knife sitting there. Anyway, I've used this knife a lot in 2 years, and I just never thought to review it till now because I never carry it anymore, to be honest. It sits in my knife case, and that's, you know, once a month I might take it out, do this, and put it back. It's not worth selling because I bought this for $32, guys. 32 fucking bones. It's just not worth selling. I'm not gonna get enough money to even pay for shit. Like, I just don't care. But it's also one of the few budget knives that's stuck around in my collection. Like, it's probably the only one, honestly. So that says something about it. I've loved this knife since the moment I got it. I ordered it from Blade HQ, I think, at some point 2 years ago when I was really into watching Knife Banter. I'm not going to say Blade Banter. Shout out to David, though. Knife Banter. And I think I saw it on there a couple times. This one and the Fraction is the Anso one, I think, which is similar. But I just thought this was a cool design. I love Sinkovich. And I later saw the ZTO 470, and it's basically the big brother of this, and I bought that a while back before the channel, so I don't have a video on it, and I hated that knife. Like, the detent sucked. It was too light, which was surprising for ZT. Normally they nail detents. Detent was too light on it, and I had issues with the pivot being red Loctited shut, so I couldn't take it apart because something was fucked up, like the centering. So I needed to take it apart, and I couldn't. And I put drivers in both sides. No, it only has one tool. It's one of those spinning pivots with a one-sided tool only. Like, it's so annoying. Anyway, I actually hated that knife, and I prefer the Kershaw Atmos over the ZTO 470. Change my mind, mother truckers. Anyway, so yeah, this knife has just been with me for a while. I've carried it a lot. And I just think it's a sweet-ass knife. If you're looking for a $32 knife, if you're looking for a budget knife, you don't mind HCR, which I really don't mind. The reason I don't get a lot of HCR knives is because of what else comes with that. That usually puts you in plastic range, FRN, shitty designs, CRKT territory, stuff I don't like. And it's not really about the steel, but it kind of all goes together into this super budget package that isn't my preference. But I totally understand it. That's how, you know, that's where I started out. You know, I got a bug out, and I got a ZT 0450 CF, but then I started buying budget knives because I wasn't going to spend $200 on every knife. And that's how I got this. And I got some other budget-y type knives, and they're good, guys. Like, you can get a fantastic EDC for $32 and basically never need another knife. This thing was amazing when I carried it for months. You know, I carried it for months. The action is incredible. So let me just start from the beginning here with aesthetics. So just the whole aesthetic of this knife, the design is fantastic. I love Sinkovich. I honestly wish he did more knives. I wish he teamed up with, like, maybe he has, like, CKF or Riot, did some kind of run with Riot. That would be incredible. Because the ZT ones, they're old at this point, and I've tried most of them, and I don't know. I haven't fallen in love with any of those. I loved the 0450, but I just didn't carry it. It got old for me, and I sold that because I could get something for it. I traded it, actually. You know, this isn't going to get me anything. So, and I don't want to sell this. This is like a forever knife for me, guys. It's one of my first really cool folding knives. Like, not necessarily expensive, but it's not something you just walk. You know, you don't just pick up at the store. I don't know if they ever sold this at Walmart, so that's not a great analogy there, because I know they sell the fraction, but it's not something you just pick up at the store for $30. You know what I mean? It's a designer knife. It's you know, you're a knife guy if you have this knife, probably. So I don't know. I just really love it, and it's a gorgeous looking knife. Yeah, if they made a titanium carbon fiber version of this in this size, not the 0470 that they totally botched, no deep carry clip on that one. It was reversible, but it wasn't deep carry. It was just a little too big for what it was trying to do. And the detent, if it had this detent and this action, I honestly would have loved it, but it didn't. It was sloppy. Like, it was a weak detent, and you know me, guys, I can't be having weak detents in my collection. But anyway, cool drop point blade, I'll call it. Yeah, it's a drop point, right? It has a flat grind. Interesting. Maybe it's a hollow. I don't know, guys. This could be a hollow grind, a very shallow hollow grind. One or the other, or it could be a saber grind. Fuck, I don't know. I suck at grinds. I don't know what they are. So, FRN handles, fake carbon fiber. You can see that is not carbon fiber. I don't even think it's like Peel Ply G10. I think it's like a fucking sticker that looks like carbon fiber. It's gross. But again, this is a $30 knife, guys. So aesthetically, I think it's really cool looking. I always thought it was a sweet looking knife. So there's that. Ergonomics on this knife are good. It's a smaller knife. I barely get all 4 fingers on, but I do. And it has jimping up here, which is functional. Very comfortable in this grip. You can do the flipper tab choil thing, but not really on this one. It's not very comfortable. It digs into your finger, really, and obviously it's not safe. The clip does bite into my palm a little bit there. You see how it lips straight up? That does hurt if I squeeze really hard, but luckily I don't do too much of that, you know, heavy type hard use. So that's fine. Action on this guy is incredible. So when you take the knife so check out the flipper tab first off. Just perfectly designed angle, minimal flipper tab with jimping on the back here, just fantastic. And when you go to the break point, it just fires out every time. There is no failing this knife unless you accidentally do something like that, like push it in, or, you know, even that. Like, you can push button this sucker, you can light switch this sucker. Just so cool. It is flipper only. That's kind of a negative these days for me, but again, $32 knife here, and one of my earlier ones. So the flipper only is fine. It makes good sounds. Let me close the windows. Sorry, it's really nice out today. Just very satisfying, this knife, in terms of action. I love it. Closing action, $32. This sucker is on Cage bearings. I think they're ceramic. I have taken this knife apart a few times, put it back together. I put some KPL in there, but the last time I did it was probably a year ago, at least. And it just drops down to your thumb, one little shake, and she's home. Just an absolutely superb action for, again, a $32 knife. I would take that on some of my more expensive knives. Let's talk about that. This is not on bearings, but this is the mini old guard. Push the lock bar over, nothing. Got to shake it to get it there, and then shake it all the way down. Of course, this is on washers. It's not meant to do that, but I'm just saying, 32 bucks. This one's 200. So action phenomenal on this knife. Carry. This is interesting. So this is a reversible deep carry clip. Fantastic clip. You'll see the screws are not recessed, but the clip itself is. It does not cause issues going in and out of the pocket. They're button head screws. They slide right over your jeans. No issue. And I've never had an issue with this clip until today. It's so funny. I had it on, and I put it in my pocket, front left today. I had to run to meet my wife at my sister-in-law's, whatever. And I get out of the truck, and I must have caught the clip on something, and I felt it kind of boop, and I checked it, and it was like sitting off the scale like this and bent, obviously. So that was the first time I ever had an issue, but I guess looking at it, you see that lip on there, that could easily get caught on basically anything. But it gave me an excuse to pull out my new truck bit driver. So I have the Vero Mini Fulcrum here, which I just can't fit in my pocket because of these O-rings. For me, it's impossible. I think Joseph said, you know, the best option is to put the two O-rings on the back two slots. That way you'll get the clearance going in. So I might try that, but I don't know how well those bits will hold in there. Plus, I really do like my full-size one. I might as well try it while I have you guys here. Let's see. Moving on down. So he's saying move the O-rings down. Let's try one more. You always have to lift the clip up to let the O-ring go because it's so tight. It's crazy. All right, there. So that's what he's saying. If you do it like this, you might be able to get it in your pocket because it's farther back. Try it. Yeah, you can get it in most of the way, not all the way. So that probably would work, but it doesn't seem very functional. I feel like these bits would fall out. So I'm going to just move this back one real quick, and then I'm going to put it away. But anyway, I took this out, and I was able to take the T6 bit and take out the bottom screw in the clip, and then loosen the top one, flip it around so it was backwards, tighten that top screw down, and then just give it a little bend. And I bent it back into position, flipped it around, put the screws back in, and Bob's your uncle. I have very good retention on the clip. So that's one positive about these steel, you know, like loop clips. You can bend them back real easy, but they do tend to catch on things more. So, but carry is really good. It's lightweight, it's deep carry, fantastic, honestly. Cutting, this thing is a beast, guys. This thing has a fantastic edge on it. It comes down to a relatively thin thickness behind the edge. It almost looks like it has the slightest recurve right here, but I could be crazy. I have sharpened this knife a bunch of times. Sorry, it's getting hot as fuck in here. I've sharpened this knife a bunch of times, to be honest, because I carried this a lot, and it's HCR. So, you know, you're going to be sharpening it more. Plus, there was a phase where I had like 5 knives, and I carried them all a lot. And I just would sharpen shit all the time, because if it wasn't like the perfect sharpness, shaving hair, I had to sharpen it again. And that was about a year ago. I started understanding sharpening more, and I got a strop, and now I just strop things occasionally. And with the 40 knives basically I have, I don't need to sharpen anything almost. I basically strop stuff for fun, because I'm OCD or whatever. Like I'll get a brand new knife and just strop it a couple times, just cause, you know. So, but anyway, it cuts like a dream. I stropped it before I left today because it felt a little bit in need of that, and it was just slicing right through paper, just as good as this mini Old Guard was. This is factory fresh. So the HCR on this is done very well. I've never had any rusting issues or anything. It's just a really good blade, guys. A really good knife. Obviously the tip broke off, but that's probably because I dropped it when I was fidgeting with it. Value, 32 bucks, guys. This thing is a home run. I can recommend this to lefties, righties, your grandma, your uncle, your aunt. I can recommend it to your dog, Sparky. This thing is fucking fantastic for $32. All day, every day, twice on Sunday. You get my goddamn point. I love it. So yeah, guys, that's my full review of the Kershaw Atmos. Probably the biggest user in my collection. So don't know if that means anything to anybody, but I absolutely love you guys. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will catch you later.